If you shoot videos, then you need to stop paying editors $300 just to edit them for you. And I know that sounds crazy, but I'm just being honest. The work that you're paying them to do that you think would take 3-4 days, you could honestly do within just a couple of hours. And I'm going to show you exactly how in this tutorial. So let's get right into it. So I'm in After Effects and I got this NBA Youngboy music video right here, and this is what I'll be editing on. And to show you how easy it really is to do VFX, I'll just add on a new adjustment layer and I'll open up my VFX kit plugin right here. And this is my new plugin, which has made VFX editing so much easier. We got 8 different tabs in here. We got the roto effects, shakes, transitions, grunge, hits, speed ramps, and CRT. I'll be going through pretty much every single one of them, except for the favorites, because it's of course just my favorite effects in one tab. So if I open up shakes to start off, then in here we got previews of every single shake, and we got the name of them of course underneath. And if you want to favorite any of these, then you just press the star icon, simple as that. And to apply these effects, you just simply select your adjustment layer or your clip, and then click on the preview. And just like this, we got the first effect in place, and it was way too easy. So let's cut the adjustment layer right here and create a new one. And then we can open up the transitions tab, because in here I want to add in a transition between the 2 clips. And this plugin comes with 150 effects, but there will be so much more in the future. And right here we got distort transitions. We got a bunch of trippy ones all the way down to like here, and then here we got some cleaner ones like the quick bounce, as you can see. We also got some more simple ones down here like rotation, flash of course, and then some blur transitions. So basically everything that you need for music videos, because this was made with music video editors in mind. So let's say that I want to add on this whoa transition. I just select my adjustment layer and apply it to the adjustment layer. Then I just line up my keyframes by moving them all the way down here, so that way they're in between the clips, and then I can play it through. And of course make sure to turn on motion blur as well, that way it will just look a little bit smoother. You can even mix these effects together. Like if I hide this adjustment layer, I could mask out my subject using the roto brush tool, and then I'm going to add on some roto effects. And now that I masked out my subject, I'll just quickly apply a refine soft matte effect just to make my mask a little bit smoother. So I'll turn down the additional edge radius to like 4 and bump up the feather. So now we got a little bit of a cleaner mask in here. And then I can duplicate this layer and remove all of the effects from the background layer. And then I'll open up the VFX kit and I'll go to the roto effects. And up here we got effects for the subject. So I'll scroll down to these background effects and I'll add on something like this warp splash probably, or maybe even something like the stretch time. That one's also pretty clean. So to do that, I just select the background layer and add the effect on. So now I'll turn on motion blur for that layer as well, and I'll unhide my adjustment layer. So now the transition is back and we'll see what it looks like. So we got the first scene here with the trippy wiggle, and then it comes into this transition and this effect in here. So it starts off with this distortion wiggle, and then this transition, and then the background effect. So this is pretty much just to show off the VFX kit, but if it's too much for you, you of course don't gotta go overboard and add this many effects. But I'll create a new adjustment layer and I'll add in a subtle flash between here, just so I don't really overdo it. So I'll go to the transitions tab, and in the transitions tab I'll scroll all the way down, because here we got the simple ones, and I'll go for something like flash with the blur. That's a pretty simple one, so I'll add that on. And then once again line up the keyframes so it's in the middle, and then I'll just play it through. That's a clean one, and I'll add on a shake here. So I'll create a new adjustment layer, cut it right here, and then I'll go to the shakes tab once again, but I'll probably go for something basic this time. Like this subtle vertical shake is pretty clean. It's just a vertical shake with a flicker and a zoom out. So it's just a clean one, as you can see. I love that one. It looks way too clean. Here I'll go for another transition. Let's see what we'll do this time. So I'll go back to the transitions and let's go for something like Lurking's distortion right here. And this is what the distortion looks like. So it's just a distortion zoom kind of effect. And I'll turn on the motion blur for that one as well. That way it look a little bit smoother. And we could go for another of the roto effects. So I'll start masking out my subject. I just gotta change the quality to full and then just mask him out real quickly. Like this doesn't take more than 2 minutes. So now that my subject is masked out, of course I'll add on a refine soft matte to kind of add a feather and make my mask a little bit smoother. So I'll turn down the additional edge radius once again to 3 and bump up the feather to something like this. Now my mask isn't perfect as you can see, but for the sake of this tutorial, I'll just keep it as it is, and I'll duplicate this layer and remove all of the effects from the background, and then we can add on some background effects onto the background. So I'll open up the VFX kit and open up the RotoFX tab, and I'll probably use this warp splash this time. And the keyframes are already pretty much lined up. Only thing I want to do is change the hue saturation because these colors doesn't really match this scene. So I'll go for something like a red instead of the pink. Maybe something like this will do. I think that's good. And it's really trippy. I just lower down the lightness a little bit. But this is what it looks like if I play it through. It's a really trippy effect, and I just got to turn on the motion blur. And just like that, it looks a lot smoother. But right here, I'll add in a new transition. So I'll create a new adjustment layer, and in the VFX kit, I'll go to the transitions tab, and let's go for something heavy this time. Or we could actually just go for the random transition. That one is really clean. And you just simply apply this one onto your layer like this. And we have a lot of random scenes in here. And I'll end it off with a shake. Let's open up the shakes tab, and we'll go for, should we do something clean or something heavy? I'll probably go for the optical shake. It's kind of in between a trippy and a basic shake, and I'll just turn on the motion blur and shorten down this transition a little bit. And I'll just do a flash in between here as well. So a new adjustment layer, go back to the transitions tab, and let's do the quick bounce. So the quick bounce is 2 parts, so we need 2 adjustment layers. I just gotta line up the keyframes real quick, and then I'll create a new adjustment layer underneath this one, and then I'll go back to the VFX kit and add on the quick bounce part 2 underneath, and make sure that the keyframes are lined up, and now we got that kind of flash look going on. It's really subtle, but it is there. Just a couple of minutes later, and this is the final result. We managed to make some really clean effects, as you can see. And I'm actually a huge fan of this VFX kit, and for the launch of this plugin I'm actually running a huge buy one get one free sale. So if you add this to your cart, you can grab any of my other preset packs for completely free, and who doesn't want some free preset packs? But thank you so much for watching if you watched this far, and like you might have guessed, the VFX kit will be linked in the description. And make sure to tune back in tomorrow because I'm posting daily this month, so I'll see you